we binge watched the fuck out of Daredevil, dude.
Like you would not believe.
Oh my god, I did not intend to. I was gonna put on an episode, see what's up, hang back. Maybe it's good. Maybe it's, oh my god.
Same here.
Netflix has made it so easy to where all you have to do is every 3 episodes acknowledge that you're still watching.
Right.
Are you still watching this?
Yes. Even though I totally am disgusted by the original Daredevil. Mm-hmm. One thing that I did walk away from that movie with, like, I love R.I.P. Michael Clark Duncan. And so when I think of Kingpin, I still think of Michael Clark Duncan. And I love that guy, you know. And
he was good. He was the best thing about that, too.
Yes. Yeah, by far.
Apparently, and they say that the director's cut is infinitely better.
Really?
Yeah, and it's 40 minutes longer. You get more story. It's a fuller, it's a fuller experience.
I will forego that 40 minutes. I don't know where I've seen him from before, but I do know I've seen him somewhere before.
That guy grows on you, and he does. And by the end of the series, you love Foggy. Wasn't there a weird little twist there in the last episode where, like, Foggy's walking away from the assistant?
Right.
And Matt Murdock, and obviously she's in love with him and has been since day one.
Which sucks.
That whole feel my face thing, I'd have been like, you know what you should do? You should go on a date with a blind guy.
Mm-hmm. You know, I was just going to put it out there as a chubby dude. It took a while for me to grow into this adorable teddy bear that you see before you.
I feel like Foggy distilled it pretty well.
Yeah, but he was banging his ex-girlfriend. An ex doesn't count. Going
back to the wells never was gratifying.
I mean, you got to be able to go out there and get some new fish. That was like a fishing reference, not calling women fish. Just saying, you don't want to catch a fish, release, throw it back into the water, and then catch that same fish. No, you want bigger, better fish that you can keep, fillet, grill, add a little lemon. Not enough Rosario Dawson. Now, that has nothing to do with Daredevil, I understand. However,
Nurse Betty,
like with Zoe Saldana, Rosario Dawson, you can't go wrong. I actually saw her in person when I worked at a movie theater in Chelsea, Manhattan. And you know how good she looks on TV?
She looks like good in real life?
Oh, man. Yeah, Rosario Dawson. And you were also sexy in 25th Hour. Just want to throw that out there.
Oh, I hated that movie so much.
I'm wondering, once again, the whole Rosario Dawson thing, why she wasn't in the show more. Not because I
think she's
like
expensive.
Rosario Dawson, but yeah, I can see that.
That would be my guess. They have X amount of budget, and you could get somebody who you've never heard of for all 13 episodes, or you could get this A-list actress for 4. Also, she's not an integral character. She's not involved in his life on a day-to-day basis.
Right, but
she doesn't live at his house.
You
they
make
don't work
them
together.
damn near in love with each other, and then all of a sudden you're not doing anything about it.
D'Onofrio. I liked it, but I wasn't about it until I saw D'Onofrio as the king, and they hold it back.
Yes.
Which is really fucking smart and cool, and one of the things that you get to do when you know that you're going to do this many episodes. The Kingpin, I love that they never call him the Kingpin. They never refer to him as the Kingpin.
Right.
It's either Wilson
For
Fisk,
the first few episodes, you don't even say his name.
Which is the thing about the Kingpin. You don't know who they're talking about, but you know.
Right.
He played it so sad. He was so sad and like broken and like timid and like everything you would expect the Kingpin not to be.
Right.
Because I expect Donald Trump,
badass,
who could beat a dude to death.
Yeah.
And he has such a hard time approaching Vanessa that he has to. How much did he spend on that painting? Do you remember what they said?
No, I don't remember the amount.
$20,000-$30,000 on a painting just for an opportunity to talk to this chick.
I would like to talk about D'Onofrio's mama, because in episode 8, like she took like ass whoopings throughout the episode, and then all of a sudden turns out to be the most gangster chick in the entire show, chopping up dead bodies and shit. The mindset of a person who says they're just going to start chopping a body into pieces, it's not some normal shit, at all.
But his situation clearly wasn't normal. or her situation.
Yeah, yeah.
Or maybe, I mean, that might have been closer to normal back then, unfortunately. But
Yeah. He beat the fuck out of him with that hammer. And another thing that kind of, worries me a little, because I liked the Kingpin character so much, I know naturally he'll be in the future, but it's like seeing like other bad guys arise that he has to deal with. Not really sure if I want to see him deal with another bad guy. I want to just see him dealing with the Kingpin, even though I know he can't do that all day.
he did. But you know who we haven't talked about at all?
Who's that?
Daredevil.
Good point.
Yeah, and
I
I'm
mean, the
trying to
show
remember-
is kind of about him, so
I'm trying to remember the actor's name, and I can't. I feel terrible. I think it's something Todd or Todd something.
Cox.
Knocks it out of the park, and is just so subtle
Yes.
and refined in his performance. Think about Christian Bale at the end of fucking either of those bad. I'm not like you. Versus him, where he's talking to the Kingpin at the end of the last episode. He's still talking in this tone, even when, it's like because I'm better than you and blah blah blah. Like he never yells at anybody, does he?
But I think that's because the show is about him, and even when it's about the Kingpin, it's about the both of them. Whereas the Dark Knight trilogy, those movies were more about the villains than Batman at all. Just the fact that he stayed in that zone for the entire show. Because sometimes you can get a person that maybe in one episode they
really
make the
nail it.
story where they go crazy, so they're acting somewhat out of the character.
Yeah.
But he was flawless.
It's one of those career-defining roles too, because I'm never going to see him and think about anything else ever again.
Right.
For me, for as long as he stays in pictures and shows, TV shows, or internet shows,
Right.
he's going to be Matt Murdock to me.
What do you call them now that they're on? Like media content? Or
I'm going to go watch my stories.
Muckenheimer. The
So-
fight scenes.
Episode 2, the end of episode 2. Like, I liked the show. I watched episode 1 and I liked the show. And I was almost kind of tuning out toward the end of episode 2, where I was like, it's still on. Until that long shot in the hallway.
Yep.
He's resting for 2 seconds.
So often in anything where, of course, you have the hero who's doing all this fighting, even back to Bruce Lee, it's kind of like Super Mario Brothers. Like the little mushrooms coming at you, you jump on him, he's knocked out.
Yeah.
Then you get to the boss, and then you have to jump on him repeatedly to get him to get knocked out. And that's how these fight scenes play out. You have like 30 bad guys, and one hit knocks everybody out, and then you get to this one guy who some of these bad guys might have been bigger than this guy, and all of a sudden you hit him and you can't knock him out. No, in these fight scenes, I'm fighting everybody. You might get knocked down, but then you're getting back up, and shit, I gotta hit you again.
So I was talking with another friend about the series who sat and watched the entire series, and he was complaining about the fight scenes. He was like, the thing that gets tedious about it is the fight scenes. I was like, huh? And he was like, yeah, I mean, I'm 3 or 4 episodes in, and I'm like, I'm tired of watching this guy beat people up. Is this all that's going to happen?
There was also the fight with the ninja. That was wonderful.
Wasn't it, though?
Because he was getting his ass whooped. And very rarely do you see the good guy take an ass whooping like that one. Even if the good guy doesn't take an ass whooping, he usually bounces back like the next day. No, like the next day, this guy is like crippled.
Innovation.
Yeah.
A lot of innovation, I think, in the fight scenes in the series. And I think it's too bad Weeze isn't here, because he would have more to say about that. It's very heavily influenced, I feel, by, the martial arts movies of the last.
He might have too much to say about that.
Yeah, that would be a whole separate episode. And in
Right.
fact, Weeze, if you would, record yourself. We'll put it up as an addendum video, and you can explain why the fight scenes were as awesome as they were.
Right.
All right, Daredevil wrap up. For all of me, watch the fuck out of Daredevil, because it's great.
Definitely watch that shit.
Woo!
Binge watch that shit. Yes.
That's the only thing that you could do to make it feel better and cooler would be to watch the old Daredevil and then watch the new Daredevil again, and then watch the first X-Men and then watch the new Daredevil again. Because it's just, they're getting it. They're there. They're in the wheelhouse, and the wheel is turning.
Right.
Golf clap for Marvel.
can go back to my life in Squaresville anytime, baby.
If anything else has arisen that we did not address, feel free to leave a comment.
I never say that. That's brilliant. Fuck, I always forget that. Please leave comments on all the videos all the time. I'm going to say that from now on. Also, you got to get a Twitter, man. I'm putting our Twitters up so people can tweet us.
Okay, so I can be reached at my Gmail account.
Don't give them your fucking...
Oh.